Alright, it's been a minute, but today I'm painting my favorite fighting game character of all time. Been on this channel for any period of time, you probably already know, that is Sub-Zero. So, here we go. Alright, it's been a while since I've actually done like a normal digital painting on this channel. I can't even remember how long it's been since I did my scorpion painting sometime last year. Could very easily be one of my best looking paintings that I think I've ever done. And I don't know why recently I've been having the feeling of doing another one, but I couldn't really settle on a character that I wanted to paint. That was the main reason why I put the poll up. To my surprise, everyone chose Sub-Zero. The only reason why I didn't just outright choose to draw Sub-Zero on my own was that I do a lot of drawing of Sub-Zero on this channel. I don't even know how many Sub-Zero drawings and paintings that I've done on this channel since I've had it. Like, there's a lot of Wild Yang and Behind material on this channel that I've done. But I put the poll up and you guys chose Sub-Zero, so I was definitely happy when I saw the results and I rolled with that. As far as the actual painting is concerned, I chose to paint circa like MK9 Sub-Zero. Most of the time on this channel, what I do is a lot of like sketch art or concept art and stuff like that, just throwing out ideas and coming up with different character looks and whatnot. Coming up with actual paintings is very time consuming. This is probably the argument for why people make AI art now to begin with. But I actually really do enjoy making art in this manner. It's just very time consuming, especially nowadays. So just in the beginning, I always like try to have a base look or a rough sketch of an outline of the person I'm trying to draw. This was pretty easy now. I just drew just had a random dude that I drew and just sort of blew his face up to take up most of the picture here. And then I just sort of sketched Sub-Zero's details over top of it. Initially, I was planning to just draw over top of or paint, I should say, over top of the sketch art that I did. But knowing myself, I knew I was going to start making mistakes if the sort of colors and stuff got too clunky. I just wanted things a little bit more organized. So after doing the initial sketches, I went back and started making like line art for it. That was pretty much a necessity for me. Like, I'm not one of those people that can just like paint just flying by the seat of his pants. Like, I gotta have stuff somewhat organized and planned out. Like, I need things loose enough to actually be creative, but I need it organized enough to where my brain isn't spiraling out of control, which can happen pretty frequently for me. So after sketching in Sub-Zero's actual details, it was going back over top of that with the line art, which was taking me quite a few tries. I don't know what is going on with Clip Studio Paint, but every blue moon I'll be drawing and it'll just decide to keep switching out the colors while I'm drawing, which was getting very irritated, and it was starting to show in my actual line art. So luckily all this was getting painted over top of anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal like it would be if I was doing one of my redesigns or something, but God, is that getting annoying for me. And I can't figure out what option to find or choose to stop it from just randomly selecting colors while I'm drawing, but conversation for a different day. So after getting the line art sort of placed in the picture, painting it's always a bit of an experience for me. I sort of find a color to just take in all of the inside of my line art just to have a base color underneath the entire picture. And then from there, I pretty much start painting from the back of the picture forward, if I could almost think of the picture in 3 dimensions, just to have like the closest layers to me filled in last, so I can pretty much get away with making the most mistakes if they come up. And it makes it easier to do shading details and stuff like that. Probably sounds crazy, but like the best way to explain it is like I started off painting the skin, then I came out to like the eyebrows and the eyes, and then I started painting the mask, and then or should I say I did like the hood and then the mask, and then I did sort of his clothing underneath all of that last. But it's like looking at his head, I just started with the furthest thing in the back and then went with all the layers that's on top of it when I was painting. It came out a lot cleaner than if I would have, tried to paint it piece by piece. I've done that before and come with some pretty rotten paintings in my day. Also, the beauty of painting sort of MK9 MK9 Sub-Zero 2 is he has a lot of small details in his materials that I can get away with almost entirely with shading. Like, I didn't really have to draw much for this picture. Most of the detail came out of the shading of the hood and little parts of the mask and stuff like that. Like I said, it was time consuming more than anything else, but it was actually a lot simpler the more I started getting into it. Because after getting everything colored, it was just a matter of shading it to make sure that it didn't get too sloppy. So I was trying not to get in the habit of using the same like few select brushes, and did a better job of using variety with the brush sizes than I normally do when working on artwork. It helped pull out little details like the wrinkles in the eyebrows and the face and stuff like that, so it helped out a lot, especially in going back over details in the mask, which I also had to do a lot of erasing for as well. It looked kind of crazy in the beginning, but as I kept moving on, it looked a lot better. Especially by the time I actually started doing the highlights, it helped a lot more, because just these random spots where there's no shadows at was looking crazy for a long time while I was working on this. But the highlight, because pretty much that's the point when I always draw, where it's either make or break time when I actually have to start doing the highlights for it. And just little details like the wrinkles in the hood and stuff, the little sharp highlights that would be on the mask and everything like that, and then getting like the specular highlights in the end. That was pretty much when I knew I had something special painting this picture. And I really love this. I'm loving this Sub-Zero picture a whole lot better than the Scorpion one, to be quite honest with you. And that's not just because Sub-Zero is my favorite character and he's the color blue, which is also my favorite color. But yeah, that was just an overview of me painting this picture. What I'm actually going to do now is just let a speed run through the actual picture sort of play out. You can see me paint the picture in one sitting. I'd appreciate it if you actually like the artwork and like the video. If you would like and subscribe if you haven't, would greatly appreciate it. I'm also getting very close rapidly to getting towards 1,000 subscribers. Would love to hit that mark, so that and any feedback you'd be willing to give me is greatly appreciated. And I'm out.